In this episode, I answer this question: should I sell my home in a competitive market, get top dollar, and rent until the market changes? I answer that question in this episode. Welcome everyone to this episode of the AskJasonGelios show. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Really appreciate you guys tuning into this episode. Hey, if you haven't done this, which I ask this on every video that I do, and that's follow me on social media. I have those links below. Be sure to visit my website. It's allabouttherealestate.com for more added value. Now, had a great question. Actually had this question multiple times from my buyers and people looking to sell, and that's: should I sell my home in the seller's market? Should I get top dollar? And should I rent a place until the market cools off? This is a great question, okay? There are several factors to consider, okay? One is you have to really look at your personal situation and decide is that something you want to do. We know that in a competitive seller's market where you have multiple buyers competing for homes, sellers are winning and they're getting top dollar. But when if you have to sell a home and you have to buy on the buying side, that becomes tricky because you may get top dollar for your property, but then you have to compete even harder on a home that you want to buy. And which, by the way, even rents are high right now as well. But should you rent until the market cools off? I think that no matter what in this market, right? It's June 2021 in a competitive market where it's favoring the sellers. More than likely, you're not going to be able to put in a contingent offer on a place. It just won't last. You're going to have buyers that are able to move faster. And by contingent offer, I mean your offer would, on the buying side, would be based on your home selling. Those just aren't even happening. I've recommended to my clients looking to sell and buy that they need to sell first and pretty much expect a double move. So to answer this question, yeah, you have to really think about your personal situation. And then, of course, the other two factors, because I mentioned that I would share with you three, right? The first factor we already went over. That's it depends on your personal situation. Two, it depends on when the market is going to change. Now, right now, experts are stating, and I've already seen a slight change in the market currently in my area of Southeast Michigan, but we're seeing a slight change where buyers won't be competing as hard for homes. We're already seeing, actually, there was a report that I read about how many home buyers that are shopping right now in 2021 in June are actually backing off a little bit because they're burnt out. They're probably tired. So those surveyed have said that they just decided to wait because they're not having any luck. But then you look at other factors too. So that's one factor, is looking at what the market's going to do. Now the market is going to start being easier on home buyers probably now, and then as we go into summer and then fall, okay? And which, by the way, we're going to see mortgage rates go up a little bit. Probably, like Lawrence Young, chief economist for National Association of Realtors, was saying that we'll probably see an interest rate of about 3.5 by the end of this year. Okay, and he's a very smart guy. So when you're looking at that factor, it really depends. It may make sense to sell your home now and then rent, and then maybe wait until the end of this year or even next year to purchase a home. Yeah, the rates won't be as low, but you won't be paying as much as far as, the sales price, right? Because you don't have to compete as hard. So that could be one way. A third factor is really, what's your motivation, right? Are you really looking to get a house right now? Because if you're going to sell it, if you have a home to sell, you'll get top dollar, of course. But then you will also be buying high on the buying side. But if you want to go ahead and do that, okay, you may have to rent for a little bit, short-term lease if they're available, or you stay with family or friends or you're in a hotel. I'm sorry, but some people do that. Some home buyers do that. But you do that until you close on your next house. But some people want the new home. They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait another year. maybe a little bit less when the market switches. But, that alone could be a factor, okay? So to recap a little bit, right, the first factor in whether or not you should sell your home and rent and then buy at a later time when the market cools off is that it depends on your personal situation, okay? How do you feel about it? What do you want to do? Second is obviously when do we feel the market? When do you feel the market's going to change? Get expert advice on that, although I've shared that when I feel the market's going to start changing, okay? That could be an indicator. Do I have to sell my house and then rent for a year or whatnot? Or do I do a 6-month lease, which might be harder to find? But is that what I do? And then the third thing is your motivation. How bad do you want to really move? Okay. Do you want that house no matter what? You don't care. You'll fight for it. You'll put more money down above asking price because you will in this market right now. What do I do? Right? How motivated am I to actually get the home that I want? I don't want to rent. I don't want to do any of that stuff. Maybe I'll stay with family for a month or two until the other one closes because I found it. I competed for it and I won. So just know that there's several factors. Ultimately, what I feel is the least expensive route is if you sell your home for top dollar, rent for a little bit, at least a year, I would say actually 12 months, and then purchase a home when the market's cooled off a little bit. That's the least expensive route to go because you won't be buying so high on the buying side. So, and obviously, the best time to buy or sell real estate is when it's right for you. So I hope you guys found this episode valuable and enjoyable. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Be sure to hit me up on social media. Those links are below. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on future episodes, as well as videos that I do in between. I'm Jason Gelios, Michigan Realtor. Thanks everyone for watching this episode of the Ask Jason Gelios Show. Be sure to visit the links in the description below to pick up your copy of my real estate book, Think Like a Realtor. It's a little book about buying and selling residential real estate through the eyes of a realtor. It's real world advice, tips, whether you're a new agent in the business or you are a home buyer or even looking to sell a home. This is great advice. So I really appreciate it if you guys visit those links, pick up your copy, and go ahead and share a review, good or bad, if you like it, if you hate it, okay? But get your copy today. Thank you.